there is definitely some overlap in terms of, when you're working in an acute care setting in the hospital as opposed to this. I mean, I think you're still building a relationship with the client. It's just that this is much more intimate because you're actually going into their house. You're seeing their environment. You're seeing what their, their day-to-day living environment's like, which is a lot different than a hospital. And I think from an educational standpoint, as nurses, it gives us more of a chance to really assess their environment. And we can kind of teach them about, things that we notice in their environment, perhaps nutrition, dietary. And I think it's really beneficial, I know, for me as a student to be able to see this aspect also, not just the acute care side of it. Because I think a lot of nursing, you kind of always associate with the hospital, but there's a lot more to it than just that side of it. So this has been a great experience for me in terms of that.
We're really down to about 40% of nurses working in the hospital. So clearly, it's very exciting to think what we can accomplish if we do move beyond the clinic and into the community. Other thoughts?
I think the other side of this too, it's helpful, even if you're going to be in the 40% of nurses that work in the hospital, to have experience in the community setting, because the sort of relationships we form here, if all you had were the hospital experiences, might not be the sort of things that you think about developing. I mean, if we could try to think about people in the context of their entire lives in an acute setting, we could probably do a lot more towards, we think about, well, we won't have the chance to see what their environment's like, but it's something we should think about, something we should talk about with them.
Right. It really gives you an imagination for realistic life worlds and diverse life worlds. Have you been brought up short at all in terms of your own middle class assumptions and your own cultural backgrounds in this experience? If you have any of those insightful moments like, oh, I'm not in that middle class situation any longer.
I think it's changed not just like my nursing perspective, having sort of gotten a little closer to this clientele. I mean, it changes your world view a little bit as you kind of go through. And Portland has, a population of homeless people, and it's kind of the focus of this is less on zooming in on a specific patient and more zooming out on a population of clients and issues that are sort of common to all of them. And you see them more than just the ones that we're working with. You see it kind of all over town. Right. And so, yeah, there's a change from things. I've seen individuals like this in a hospital setting, in an acute care setting. But to see them sort of in this environment lends just a little more background to it, gives it a more full picture of their day-to-day lives. So.
You gain a little respect for how hard it is.
Oh, absolutely.